Your financial landscape is about to change. That probably doesn't come as much of a surprise to you. Your expenses will increase, your income may shift. But when you welcome your baby into your home, it's not just your bank account that changes. Your time, your energy, and your capacity will all be reshaped in this new season. Financial pressure is one of the leading causes of conflict in relationships. So before decisions need to be made in a moment, it's worth slowing down now to build some shared foundations. The Bible talks a lot about money, not because money is ultimate, but because it reveals what is. Jesus said, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Money has a way of attaching itself to deeper things like our sense of security, our comfort, our identity, and our control. It can begin to promise what only God can truly provide. Ideally, you want your money to serve you as a tool, but without some intention and a watchful eye, it can quietly begin to master you. Jesus puts it really clearly, you cannot serve both God and money. Now that might sound strong, but it's actually wonderfully freeing because it invites you to decide together what will sit in the driving seat of your lives. Will money dictate your decisions, or will your values lead the way? So rather than a one-size-fits-all answer, Scripture gives us principles to guide us. The first one is planning. Money is a practical part of life and it needs a plan. A budget is simply telling your money where you want it to go, rather than wondering where it went. In this season, planning becomes even more important. A plan creates clarity and builds shared understanding, which will help to reduce the unnecessary stress. Within your planning in this season is an invitation to think carefully about when to return to work. It's a question that needs to be answered with more in mind than purely your financial bottom line. Pray and seek the Lord on this and weigh up the whole picture of raising children alongside the financial impact. Number 2 is stewardship. You are not the owner of what you have. You are a steward of what you have been entrusted. Everything you have, your money and your time and your energy, has been entrusted to you by God for a season. And if you approach your finances and other areas of resource within this framework, it changes the questions you ask. So instead of asking, what do I want to do with this? You begin to ask, what would it look like to steward this well? This perspective brings both responsibility and freedom because you're no longer trying to control everything. You're learning to faithfully manage what you've been given. Third is generosity. Generosity isn't something you do, it's something that shapes you because it's not just what you give, it's how you give. Generosity loosens money's grip on your heart and reminds you that God is your provider. It can also reorient your life towards others. In this season, generosity might look different than before, but the invitation remains. What would it look like to invest in not just what is immediate, but what lasts? The fourth thing we're going to look at is the idea of freedom. Living is expensive, and in this new season, it can be tempting to stretch beyond your means to maintain a certain lifestyle. But Scripture gives us a clear warning here. Debt can become a burden that limits your freedom. This doesn't mean that all borrowing is wrong, but it does mean it should be approached with wisdom and restraint. Financial pressure doesn't just affect your bank account, it affects your peace, your relationship, and your capacity to live generously. And lastly, unity. You'll likely come into this season with different instincts around money. One of you may feel cautious while the other more relaxed. One may prioritize saving while the other giving or spending. None of that is wrong, but it does mean you need to talk. Whether it's how you structure your accounts, how you budget, how you make decisions, an honest, open dialogue about your finances and your wider resources will help you maintain unity. So as you build your foundations, keep coming back to these questions. Who or what is in the driving seat? Who or what are we trusting in? And what kind of life are we trying to build? Because when decisions or even challenges come, and they will, having shared principles will help you stand firm together.